On a desolate, long-forgotten planet, a small team of archaeologists scours the surface for signs of ancient civilizations, never anticipating what they are about to uncover. The planet, uninhabited for millennia, is covered in layers of ruins, the remains of alien societies that once thrived and perished. For years, the team has been excavating these alien remnants, documenting their discoveries. But one day, as they dig deeper into a particularly enigmatic site, they uncover something unexpected, an ancient, buried structure that doesn't match any known alien design. It is something far more advanced, almost alien in its own right, yet oddly familiar. The structure hums with an unknown energy, pulsing like it's alive, its metallic surface shimmering in the dim light. The discovery doesn't just raise questions, it sends chills through the team. They soon realize that the structure is not just another relic of alien history, but a human artifact, one that somehow survived a time and space they never thought possible. This artifact, though clearly of human origin, defies all known technological understanding. It is unlike anything humanity has created before, and it radiates with a power and sophistication that not even the galaxy's most advanced alien races can comprehend. With its mysterious glow and intricately designed systems, the artifact is in pristine condition, preserved in the harsh conditions of a planet that should have destroyed it long ago. No one can fathom how it came to be here, on a world so distant from Earth, surrounded by the bones of alien civilizations. The moment the news breaks, it echoes across the galaxy. The discovery rattles the foundations of every galactic power. For centuries, humans have been viewed as primitive, just a young species trying to carve its place in a universe dominated by far older, more powerful races. The very idea that humans might have once been far more advanced than these established civilizations is almost laughable to many. However, as more information comes in, the skeptics are silenced. This artifact is irrefutable proof that humanity's past, and perhaps its legacy, is something far greater than anyone could have imagined. The galactic powers respond with shock, disbelief, and above all, fear. The Galactic Council, a coalition of the galaxy's most powerful species, convenes in an emergency session. The artifact's discovery triggers an intense debate. Some believe it is a weapon, an ancient device capable of tipping the balance of power in the galaxy. Others see it as a key to unlocking untapped knowledge and technology that could give any race that controls it a monumental advantage. Whispers of a forgotten war between humanity and ancient alien forces begin to surface. These rumors suggest that humans may have once wielded power capable of challenging the most formidable species in the galaxy, something that has been erased from history. Commander Sarah Hale, a battle-hardened leader and expert on human history, is appointed to head an expedition to study the artifact further. She and her team travel to the excavation site, where tensions are already running high. Representatives from several galactic powers are quick to arrive, some with peaceful intentions, others with more sinister goals. The archaeological team works alongside these representatives, struggling to maintain their independence in the face of overwhelming pressure. As Hale's team begins to investigate the artifact, it becomes clear that there are secrets buried within it, secrets that the galaxy is desperate to uncover. What were humans capable of? How did they come to be so advanced? And most importantly, what does this artifact mean for the future? The more they uncover, the more it becomes evident that this is no mere relic of a lost civilization. It's a message, a clue to humanity's true role in the grand design of the universe. But the questions only lead to more mysteries, and the deeper they go, the more they realize they may be playing with forces far beyond their understanding. The artifact's discovery is only the beginning. What follows is a race to uncover the truth about humanity's past, and in doing so, to unlock the future. Every faction now has its eyes on Earth and its secrets. But as the artifact reveals more of its secrets, it becomes clear that the true danger is not in the past, it is in the future. and the galaxy may soon learn that humanity's place in the universe is not as insignificant as once thought. Humanity's place in the galaxy is forever changed the moment Earth's ancient artifact is unearthed. What was once a quiet, insignificant planet now finds itself at the center of galactic attention. The discovery sends ripples across the universe, drawing the gaze of both allies and enemies alike. No longer seen as a backwater world, Earth's legacy now hangs in the balance, with factions from across the galaxy eager to uncover the secrets locked within the artifact. The galaxy's powerful rulers, who had long underestimated humanity, are now scrambling to gain access to this mysterious relic, each hoping to either claim it for themselves or unlock its potential to secure their dominance in the stars. Commander Sarah Hale, a seasoned officer of humanity's space forces, is entrusted with leading the expedition to understand the artifact. With her experience and leadership, she is the perfect candidate for such an important mission. Alongside her, a team of the best minds from Earth, as well as carefully chosen representatives from the galactic powers, are assembled. They arrive at the excavation site, which has been converted into a secure research facility surrounded by tension and an undercurrent of distrust. Each alien faction has its own agenda, and while the representatives publicly exchange pleasantries, the pressure to uncover the artifact's true power is palpable. From the very first moment the team begins studying the artifact, it becomes clear that this is no ordinary relic. The device seems to pulse with life, responding to human touch in ways that defy explanation. As Hale carefully examines the artifact, her fingers graze a strange indentation on its surface. In an instant, hidden compartments within the device open, revealing intricate symbols and glowing energy conduits. The room is filled with an eerie hum, as if the artifact is waking up from a long slumber, and the air is thick with the sense that something monumental is about to unfold. The team soon uncovers the first of many secrets. The artifact begins to release an encrypted message, ancient and indecipherable at first glance, but somehow familiar. As the message plays across their screens, it becomes evident that it is not just a string of random data, but a carefully constructed record of a time long forgotten. The transmission speaks of a galactic war that predates all known history, a war in which humans played a pivotal role. The galaxy's current rulers, it seems, had a hand in erasing this chapter from the records, burying the truth about humanity's power and influence in the distant past. The message hints at a forgotten event, one that could change everything the galaxy believes to be true about humanity's past and its place in the present. The artifact's resonance grows stronger as the encrypted message unfolds, and it becomes clear that the device is more than just a historical record. It seems to act as a beacon, emitting pulses of energy that vibrate through the room, touching something deep within the minds of those around it. The team begins to theorize that the artifact could be a weapon, a key to unlocking an ancient and long-forgotten power. Some suggest it could be a military device capable of unimaginable destruction, while others believe it is a tool that could restore humanity to its former glory. What becomes undeniably clear, however, is that the artifact holds the power to reshape the balance of the galaxy, and not everyone in the room is willing to let that power fall into human hands. As the team delves deeper into the artifact's mechanisms, the tension between the various factions increases. Some representatives, who had arrived as mere observers, begin to subtly push for control of the artifact, hoping to use it to tip the scales of galactic power in their favor. The air becomes thick with suspicion, and Commander Hale feels the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. She knows that if the wrong hands gain control of the artifact, the consequences could be disastrous, not just for humanity, but for the entire galaxy. Each faction has their own ideas of how the artifact should be used, and they're not afraid to take extreme measures to ensure their vision becomes reality. But amidst the growing chaos, one thing is certain: humanity is no longer a passive player in the galaxy. With the artifact now in their possession, the balance of power has shifted. Earth may have been a small, forgotten world, but its legacy and the mystery of its past has now become the catalyst for an unprecedented struggle. The artifact, which had remained silent for so long, is beginning to speak, and the truth it reveals will have far-reaching consequences for everyone involved. What began as an excavation has now turned into a race against time to uncover the artifact's true purpose, and the stakes could not be higher. The galaxy is watching, and the battle for the future of humanity is just beginning. The discovery of the ancient human artifact sends ripples across the galaxy, triggering a cascade of events that no one could have foreseen. As word of the find spreads, every corner of the galaxy reacts, from the distant, peaceful civilizations to the more aggressive and powerful empires. Some factions, eager to learn about humanity's forgotten past, view the artifact as an invaluable resource, while others, driven by more sinister intentions, seek to control it at any cost. But the most significant threat comes from the Tyrellian Empire, an ancient and ruthless species known for its vast resources and military might. The Tyrellians, who had long believed that humanity was a minor player in the galactic stage, are suddenly consumed by a deep, unsettling obsession with the artifact. Emperor Vornak, the Tyrellian ruler, believes that the humans were once his greatest adversary, an enemy whose strength and technological superiority were erased from history. He is convinced that the artifact holds the key to understanding the true power humanity once wielded, and he will stop at nothing to possess it. Vornak's belief is that, if he can control the artifact, he can unlock an ancient power, one that will give the Tyrellians absolute dominance over the galaxy, leaving no one, human or alien, capable of challenging their rule. Commander Sarah Hale, who has been tasked with studying the artifact, feels the weight of the galaxy's eyes upon her. The deeper her team delves into the artifact's secrets, the more they uncover about humanity's involvement in a long-forgotten galactic war. Strange symbols and encrypted messages begin to emerge from the device, hinting at a time when humanity stood toe-to-toe with the Tyrellians, wielding technology so advanced that it defied the imagination of the galaxy's current rulers. This revelation shakes the foundation of everything the galaxy thought it knew about humanity. The humans were not the primitive species they had once believed them to be. They were once giants among the stars, their technology capable of altering the very fabric of the galaxy's power structure. However, as the team continues their investigation, they uncover more troubling details. They learn that this war between humanity and the Tyrellian Empire did not end in a clear victory for either side. Rather, it ended in what could only be described as a retreat, with humanity disappearing from the galaxy's collective history. The records are shrouded in mystery, and all traces of humanity's contributions to the war were systematically erased. Something, or someone, had worked tirelessly to bury the truth of humanity's legacy. Hale's team begins to realize that there are dark forces at work, forces that may have actively suppressed humanity's role in galactic history, ensuring that their true potential would never be known. The more they uncover, the more the pieces of the puzzle fall into place. What they had initially believed to be a simple discovery, a relic of a long-forgotten past, begins to feel like something much more dangerous. The artifact is not just a relic, it is a key, a trigger that could unlock a series of events that would change the galaxy forever. But who is behind the inertia of humanity's history and why? What are they hiding, and what happens if the artifact's secrets are unleashed? As the team grapples with these questions, they are drawn into a perilous game of galactic intrigue. The Tyrellians are not the only ones interested in the artifact. Other factions, some with more noble intentions, begin to move, all hoping to claim the artifact for themselves. But with the Tyrellians' aggressive push to gain control, the risk of war becomes increasingly real. The galaxy teeters on the edge of chaos, and Hale knows that the wrong move could spark a conflict that would rip apart the fragile peace that has held for centuries. In the midst of this growing tension, Sarah Hale finds herself questioning everything she thought she knew about humanity's place in the galaxy. Could they truly have been so powerful? And if so, what happened to cause their fall from grace? The more they learn, the clearer it becomes that humanity's past is not only buried, it's actively being concealed. Someone or something does not want the galaxy to know the truth. The artifact is more than a relic of a forgotten war. It is a beacon, calling out to those who have the power to change the galaxy's future. And with each passing moment, the shadow of humanity's past grows darker, threatening to consume everyone who dares to uncover its secrets. The discovery of the ancient human artifact triggers a political storm that shakes the foundations of the galaxy's most powerful empires. On one side, the Tyrellian Empire, ever hungry for dominance, views the artifact as a tool to secure their supremacy over the galaxy. Emperor Vornak pushes relentlessly for control, convinced that the artifact holds the key to unlocking humanity's lost power and strengthening the Tyrellian Empire beyond measure. On the other side, the Galactic Council, a coalition of various interstellar factions, fears the potential consequences of allowing any one empire to control such a powerful relic. They argue for a neutral zone, hoping to conduct a thorough, impartial study of the artifact, convinced that humanity's forgotten history might hold lessons or even resources that could benefit the entire galaxy. But within this fragile balance, the stakes grow ever higher as humanity becomes a chess piece in a galactic power struggle unlike any seen before. Amid this chaos, Sarah Hale's role as the head of the human delegation becomes increasingly critical. She finds herself at the center of heated negotiations, as both sides vie for her loyalty and the artifact's secrets. Sarah, a battle-hardened commander, knows the weight of her decisions could tip the scales toward war or peace, and every conversation with the representatives of these powerful factions feels like walking a razor-thin line. As if the political pressure weren't enough, a shadowy and mysterious faction begins to make its move. The Silent Order, a clandestine group long whispered about in hushed tones, emerges from the depths of galactic history. This elusive organization, believed by most to be an ancient sect of humans who escaped the war millennia ago, had been monitoring humanity's development from afar. The Silent Order, operating with unmatched discretion, reaches out to Sarah in secret, knowing that the time has come for humanity to learn the truth of their past and the dangers that lie ahead. The members of the Order reveal that the artifact is far more than a mere historical relic or even a forgotten weapon. According to their cryptic message, the artifact is a harbinger of something much darker, a force from humanity's past that, if awakened, could reshape the future of the galaxy in ways that no one could foresee. This force, once held in check by humanity's advanced technology and forgotten military prowess, now threatens to rise again should the wrong hands gain control of the artifact. Sarah is torn. The Silent Order, with their cryptic warnings and sense of urgency, speak of an ancient threat that could eclipse all of the current galactic powers. Yet, their intentions are as shrouded in secrecy as their history. Are they truly the protectors of humanity's legacy, or are they just another faction with their own hidden agenda? Their plea for Sarah to trust them feels both urgent and ominous, leaving her with a sense of unease. If she aligns herself with the Silent Order, she risks inciting a galactic war, one that could engulf humanity and every major power in the galaxy. On the other hand, if she sides with the Galactic Council or the Tyrellians, she might unwittingly place the artifact in the hands of those who could bring about the very disaster the Silent Order warns of. The dilemma weighs heavily on her, and every decision she makes feels like it could send the galaxy spiraling into conflict. Tensions among the galaxy's factions are at a breaking point. While Sarah tries to keep the peace, the constant push for control over the artifact grows more intense. The Tyrellians' military presence increases near the human territories, and the Galactic Council is divided on whether they should support Sarah's leadership or act on their own fears of Tyrellian expansionism. A cold war of words and threats looms large. Every move Sarah makes seems to escalate the conflict, and she begins to wonder if the artifact itself might be the key to not only unlocking humanity's forgotten history, but also to triggering an irreversible shift in galactic power. With the galaxy watching, Sarah must decide who to trust and what path to follow. The Silent Order's secrets, the political pressure from the galaxy's powers, and the haunting implications of the artifact all threaten to consume her. She knows one thing for certain: the wrong decision could unravel everything, and she could be the one to set off a war that will forever alter humanity's place in the galaxy. As the pieces of this dangerous puzzle fall into place, Sarah realizes that her actions in the coming days could shape the very future of the universe itself. As the days pass, the Tyrellian Empire's pursuit of the artifact intensifies, growing more aggressive and calculating with each move. Hidden behind the facade of diplomacy and negotiations, their covert operations escalate, and it becomes clear to Commander Sarah Hale that the Tyrellians will stop at nothing to seize the artifact. Their agents infiltrate human-controlled stations and vessels, spreading chaos and mistrust among the various factions. Vandalized research facilities, sabotage of communication networks, and even attempted assassinations of key personnel begin to paint a grim picture of their determination. Hale knows that every moment the artifact remains in a known location, the Tyrellians are getting closer to their goal. The stakes are rising, and with each act of sabotage, it becomes evident that the galaxy's fragile peace is on the brink of unraveling. Faced with this mounting threat, Hale is forced to make a choice that could change the course of the entire conflict. After careful deliberation with her closest advisors, she orders the artifact to be moved to a secret location, far from both the Tyrellian Empire's grasp and the watchful eyes of the Galactic Council. The operation is risky. Moving the artifact without alerting anyone could trigger a series of confrontations. Yet, Hale understands that the alternative is far worse, leaving it exposed for the Tyrellians to seize. In the dead of night, a handful of trusted officers, including Hale herself, embark on a covert mission to transport the artifact to its new, undisclosed location. Every step is shrouded in secrecy, every move calculated, as they navigate through the ever-watchful surveillance of both enemy and ally alike. The tension is palpable, and the closer they get to their destination, the more they can feel the weight of the galaxy's fate resting on their shoulders. Meanwhile, the Silent Order reaches out to Hale again, their warnings growing more urgent. In a private communication, they reveal that the artifact is not just a relic of humanity's past, it is a key to something far darker and more powerful. The artifact, they say, is tied to an ancient machine, one that has the power to either reshape the entire galaxy or destroy it beyond repair. The Tyrellians, obsessed with the artifact's potential, are blind to the danger they are about to awaken. The Silent Order claims that the machine, long dormant and buried deep within the forgotten ruins of humanity's ancient empire, was once a weapon capable of annihilating entire star systems. In the wrong hands, it could obliterate life as the galaxy knows it, and the Tyrellians' greed could inadvertently trigger its activation. They warn Hale that the artifact's power is not something that can be controlled, and the consequences of its misuse could be catastrophic. Hale's mind races as she processes the magnitude of what the Silent Order has just revealed. She knew the artifact held secrets, but she never imagined it was connected to something so destructive. The weight of the decision before her feels heavier than ever. She now has to make sure the Tyrellians never uncover the true purpose of the artifact, not just for humanity's survival, but for the survival of the entire galaxy. But the Tyrellians are relentless, and their reach extends far beyond what Hale initially anticipated. She can no longer trust anyone completely, not even the Galactic Council. The discovery that the artifact could unlock such a devastating force leaves her questioning everything, but one thing is clear: she cannot let the Tyrellians gain control of it. With the artifact hidden away and the galaxy's future hanging by a thread, Hale prepares for the inevitable retaliation. She knows that the Tyrellians will soon discover that it has vanished, and when they do, they will stop at nothing to find it. But the more Hale thinks about the Silent Order's warning, the more she understands the true scope of what's at stake. If the Tyrellians find the artifact, there is a chance they will awaken a power that will not only destroy their enemies, but the entire galaxy. The fate of the universe now rests on Hale's ability to keep the artifact safe and out of the hands of those who would use it to unleash the very thing that could destroy them all. The clock is ticking, and every moment that passes brings them closer to a confrontation that could reshape the fate of the stars forever. As the tension between the galaxy's factions escalates, Commander Sarah Hale and her team finally manage to decrypt the full extent of the ancient artifact's message. The long-hidden truths begin to surface, and the weight of humanity's forgotten history crashes down on them like a tidal wave. The artifact's message reveals the shocking story of an ancient war, a war fought between humans and the Tyrellian Empire over control of a galaxy-spanning energy network, one that was capable of manipulating the very fabric of space-time itself. This network, known only in fragmented records as the Ether Grid, was humanity's greatest achievement, built with the hope of controlling the universe's most destructive forces to prevent an impending cosmic cataclysm. But the truth of the artifact's origins is far darker than anyone could have imagined. The humans who fought in this ancient conflict were not merely soldiers. They were master engineers, architects, and scientists whose capabilities far surpassed those of the galaxy's most advanced civilizations today. The artifact itself was part of a highly classified project designed to harness this energy network and use it to stop a cataclysmic event, a galactic-scale disaster that could have wiped out all known life in the universe. Humanity, armed with this unprecedented power, was prepared to prevent the disaster at all costs, even if it meant war. But there was another, far more terrifying side to the artifact's function. Hidden deep within its systems was the potential to manipulate the energy of dying stars, using their explosive power to fuel a weapon of unimaginable strength. A weapon that could obliterate entire fleets in a matter of seconds. This revelation hits Commander Hale like a storm. She has spent so long focused on the artifact's potential for good, but now she realizes that its true nature could be as destructive as it is powerful. The humans who once controlled this technology had understood the immense responsibility that came with it, but for reasons lost to history, they chose to vanish, leaving behind nothing but fragments of their incredible achievements. The Tyrellians, ever hungry for power, are on the verge of realizing what they could unlock if they gain control of the artifact. And if they awaken the full potential of the weapon hidden within it, they will possess the power to change the balance of the galaxy forever, for better or worse. As the discovery sets in, Hale and her team are left with an even greater question. Why did humanity retreat? Why did they erase their own legacy from the annals of history? What caused the ancient humans to bury their greatest creation and the key to their galaxy-altering technology? The artifact's cryptic messages give them no answers, only hints of betrayal and tragedy, suggesting that humanity's exit from the galactic stage was not voluntary. Something had forced their retreat, but what? And who, or what, was behind the erasure of humanity's legacy? These questions become the driving force behind Hale's determination to protect the artifact at all costs. The implications of the discovery reach far beyond humanity's past. The energy network, once used to prevent catastrophe, now holds the potential to become a weapon of mass destruction in the wrong hands. Hale knows that if the Tyrellians gain full control, they will undoubtedly use it to further their empire's domination, possibly sparking a new era of galactic conflict. Worse still, if the artifact's full capabilities are unlocked, it may not only bring about the destruction of the Tyrellians, but potentially endanger all of galactic civilization. The fragile alliances and rivalries in the galaxy could shatter in an instant, leading to a war unlike any seen before. Now, Hale's mission has become even more critical. Not only must she protect the artifact from the Tyrellians and other factions eager for its power, but she must also ensure that it does not fall into the hands of those who would misuse it. The fate of the galaxy hinges on her ability to keep the artifact's true potential hidden from the world, but time is running out. The Tyrellians are closing in, and the artifact's power is awakening. Hale feels the weight of history on her shoulders as she faces the most dangerous game of her career. The stakes could not be higher, and with every passing moment, the line between salvation and destruction becomes more blurred. The final battle had arrived. The Tyrellian Empire, realizing the full potential of the artifact, could no longer afford to wait. Their forces, vast and seemingly unstoppable, launched a massive, all-out assault on the human fleet. Their goal was clear: seize the artifact, control its power, and become the undisputed rulers of the galaxy. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Commander Sarah Hale, knowing that this would be the most decisive moment in humanity's history, quickly rallied the remaining factions of the galaxy. She was not alone. The Silent Order, the mysterious group of ancient humans, stood with her, offering their support and wisdom. Together, they formed a united front against the Tyrellian onslaught. They were outnumbered, their resources stretched thin, but their resolve was unbreakable. The battle began with a deafening clash of ships, energy beams lighting up the void of space like a deadly storm. Humanity's forces, though smaller in number, fought with a tenacity and unity that the Tyrellians had never experienced. The galaxy's other factions, recognizing the significance of this moment, lent their strength, joining the fray with everything they had. Despite their best efforts, however, the Tyrellians remained relentless. Their warships pushed forward, piercing through human defenses. With each passing moment, it seemed as though the Tyrellian fleet would overwhelm them. But Commander Hale, her mind sharp with the knowledge of the artifact's true potential, knew the time had come for a desperate gamble. The final showdown was set to unfold, not among the fleets, but between Hale and Emperor Vornak. The Tyrellian Emperor, believing in his species' superiority, had underestimated humanity's unyielding spirit. As their ships clashed, Hale and Vornak faced each other on a deserted command deck. Vornak, with his arrogance and cold confidence, dismissed Hale as a mere nuisance. He didn't understand the strength of humanity's will to survive. "You cannot defeat the power of the Tyrellian Empire," he sneered, his eyes filled with disdain. Hale, undeterred, stepped forward, the weight of humanity's future on her shoulders. She knew this wasn't just a battle for Earth. It was a battle for the galaxy's future, for the survival of her people and their place in the stars. In a quiet, tense moment, Hale activated the artifact. Its energy, long dormant, began to pulse, resonating with an ancient, forgotten force. The artifact unleashed a wave of energy that rippled across the battlefield, cascading outward with incredible force. The Tyrellian ships, caught off guard by the surge, were struck by an overwhelming blast of power that crippled their fleet. It was as if the galaxy itself had responded to the humans' call. But the true surprise came when the artifact triggered an ancient defense mechanism, a last-ditch effort left behind by humanity's ancestors to ensure their legacy would never be erased. The mechanism, a vast energy network hidden deep within the galaxy, activated in unison with the artifact. Massive shields of energy appeared around key human systems, while dormant fleets of ancient warships, left behind by humans long ago, emerged from the farthest reaches of space, joining the fight. The Tyrellians, already disoriented by the artifact's power, found themselves overwhelmed by an unexpected onslaught. Their forces crumbled under the combined might of humanity and their allies. Vornak, realizing too late the true scale of humanity's potential, roared in frustration, but it was too late. The Tyrellian fleet was shattered, their strength reduced to a fraction of what it had once been. The balance of power in the galaxy shifted in that moment. The Tyrellians, once thought invincible, were now on the defensive, their empire teetering on the brink of collapse. As the battle subsided and the remaining Tyrellian ships retreated, humanity stood victorious, but at a great cost. The war was far from over. There were still factions and enemies who sought to control the artifact's power, and the true threats had yet to reveal themselves. But the galaxy's perception of humanity had changed forever. No longer were they seen as a forgotten race, weak and insignificant. The discovery of the ancient artifact and the way humanity had fought for its survival had proven that they were a force to be reckoned with. The galaxy could no longer ignore the potential that lay within Earth's people. Humanity's true destiny had finally begun to unfold. As the stars once again shimmered above, Hale looked out at the battlefield, knowing that this was only the beginning. The road ahead would be perilous, but humanity had proven that they would rise to the challenge, no matter the cost. The galaxy had felt the shockwaves of their return, and it was clear that Earth's place in the universe had forever been reshaped. The final battle was over, but the war for the galaxy's future was just beginning.